There are so many AI chatbots. At this point, it's a little bit overwhelming to try to choose which one to use. And this video is going to break down which one is going to be best for your use case. Because all of the chatbots excel at different things. And in this video, I'm going to explain what those different things are and which ones you should use depending on what the goal is that you're trying to accomplish. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to show you some examples, and I think you're going to really enjoy what we're seeing here. So we're going to start into ChatGPT. This is the one that you probably know about. Everyone knows about it. I mean, if you don't know what ChatGPT is, I don't know what to tell you. ChatGPT is the Swiss Army knife, in my opinion, of AI chatbots. And what that means is it's the most versatile. It's the one that you can do the most with. Therefore, by far, it is my most used model. I would say I probably use ChatGPT about 60% of the time compared to the other 4 tools that we're going to be breaking down in this video. So one tool is getting 60% of the share compared to 5 tools in total. Now, here's the thing. It's just so versatile. They've just nailed it. I mean, they've just done such a good job of the UI. It's super clean. It's super smooth. Really quickly, I have a whole nother video about models and which one you should use. Basically, ChatGPT 4.0 is if you're basically using it like Google. You're asking questions. You're just trying to get some answers pretty quickly. 0.3 is what I call my daily driver. 0.3 is the one that I use 90% of the time. When I want it to think through a problem, I want it to think through research I found. I just want it to have a little bit more superpower behind the answer that it's putting. ChatGPT 0.3 is a powerful tool. A cool thing about ChatGPT as well is the deep research, which I won't go into detail in this video about. The create an image feature is mind-blowing. I have been creating a lot of images for my AI app that I'm coming out with next month, and it's been helping me develop a lot of marketing material. Web search, it does this automatically. I don't know why they added this, and Canvas is a really cool feature where it will essentially pop out a document if you ask it, hey, can you make me a document about X, Y, and Z? Okay, so ChatGPT is the Swiss Army knife. I don't want to go too into detail because there's already so much information about ChatGPT out there, but I wanted to give it its flowers. It's a great tool, and I use it every single day, a lot of the time. Now, the rest of these tools are in no particular order. The next one I review isn't better than the one after it. I'm just going to tell you what its kind of superpower is. Because the one thing about these tools is that if you try to use them all the same, what you're going to realize is you get a lot of information that is just simply not very good. So the next tool that we're going to be looking at is Grok. So Elon Musk's baby creation. Maybe that's, I don't know. Anyways, super Grok. So there is regular Grok, which is really super Grok. And then there's Grok Heavy. So Heavy, I'm not signed up for. It's $300 a month. I've heard pretty good things about it, but to me, I don't think the value's there from what I've seen. Grok 4 just came out actually this past week. Grok 3 was the previous tool. Grok 4 Heavy is the one I was just referring to. As you can tell, what you'll notice a common trend is all of these tools have kind of copied ChatGPT's UI because, like I said, it's just really freaking good. Grok can do a lot of the things that ChatGPT can. It can have files, you can have it do tasks, you can have projects, you can have all types of stuff. So, Grok is a really good tool, but the way that I use it is for Google search. It has replaced Perplexity. It has replaced Google search. Some type of magic inside of Grok 4 is an incredibly valuable tool. So let's just say, for example, let me ask you the question, because I create a lot of content about AI. Who are some of the top content creators on AI in social media? And I just want you just kind of see how it works. So, it's every single time you ask Grok for a question, it's going to be a reasoning model. So it's kind of doing this thing where it's a unified feature, because what I saw they're trying to do is unify the chatbot with the reasoning model. But what you'll see is right here, it's going to go through all this stuff. Now, obviously, it's interesting how they use this Perplexity as a source. But Grok can use X data. So it can go into Twitter/X and it can find posts from all these different people. And that's incredibly powerful because X is the most up-to-date news source in the entire world. So this output is actually not great. It's going to be really interesting to see what another tool that we're going to review in a second says. Well, it's not bad. Andre Kaparthi, he was the head of Tesla AI, and he's like one of the GOATs in terms of AI stuff. So actually it is pretty good. Sam Altman, to me, I don't really know why. I guess a better question I should have asked was for video content. But anyways, you get the idea. And so this is actually really cool. So it does talk about the top. Okay, so this actually was a good reply. I just hadn't seen it. Liam Motley, shout out to him. He's got some great content. Missing my boy Nick Sarave, though. Wow, this is crazy. Top virtual AI influencers. What? That's crazy. Okay, this is a great reply. X is goated for searching, in my opinion. If you want to search something, X is the place to do it. It's better than ChatGPT search. It's better than really any of the searches, in my opinion. So that's what I use Grok for, and that's what I would recommend it for. Now, going to Claude. Okay, Claude is interesting. Claude started out with a lot of market share, and it's kind of fallen. I'm not going to say fallen off, but it is significantly not kept up with the traction of the other platforms. With that being said, I use Claude every day, and it's a great tool. You can see they have a deep research feature. You can see they have an extended thinking feature. You can see that you can connect it to all these different tools. You can see the UI and UX is pretty good. Claude 4 Opus is kind of like the ChatGPT o3 model. And then Claude 4 Sonnet, which is actually the one that I use. I don't ever use Opus, because if I was going to use Opus, I would just use ChatGPT o3. But Claude 4 Sonnet is the best model for natural English writing. It just sounds the best. It formats the best. It just sounds human. I don't know what it is. I don't know what kind of magic sauce they put in here, but it's better than every single other tool on the market. I've tested them all. I cannot tell you how much time I put into it. The only one that comes close is ChatGPT 4.5. The problem is you only get about 10 of these a week, so it's just not really worth it. So Claude 4 Sonnet is the undisputed pound for pound heavyweight champion when it comes to natural writing, which is what a lot of people use AI for. That's probably the most common use case for AI is, hey, write this email, write this post, write this response on Slack. And if you're doing a lot of that, Claude is going to be the tool that you want to use. Now, there's a little bit of drama with Claude because they started the company essentially with a couple of the founding team members of OpenAI. And I got to be honest, when I think about Claude, well, I won't get too into the weeds with it, but basically their CEO is seems transhumanist to me. He essentially thinks that AI is going to completely wipe all humans from work out of the face of the earth. I don't agree with that. I mean, who am I to tell him, right? But that's just how I see it personally. And so anyways, not to digress, Claude's a great tool. It's a really great tool for writing especially. Okay, so on to our next contender. Let's take a look here. Well, this is Gemini. So Gemini, very similar feature set. It's got a couple different models. I would say 9 times out of 10, I use Gemini 2.5 Pro. Doesn't look like you can see the model on there, but yeah, I use Gemini 2.5 Pro. You can kind of see it in the corner. And that to me is the best model by Gemini. Very comparable, in my opinion, to ChatGPT o3. Gemini is a great product. I mean, they really have done a good job innovating and keeping up with the competition. Cool thing about Gemini, and one reason I'm very bullish on it, they can afford to have incredible features for a very low price because it's Google and the revenue is like a quadrillion dollars a year. And so they can afford to kind of subsidize a lot of these expensive features that other people have to charge a lot of money for. So Gemini 2.5 Flash is the very base model. It's kind of like the 4.0 model from ChatGPT. It's a great model. It's for basic everyday tasks, right? But if you want to get, really detailed thinking and really detailed feedback and analysis, you need to do 2.5 Pro, in my opinion. And where Gemini is kind of blowing up, in my opinion, is actually with their extended features. So before I go to the extended features, let's just see what the response looks like. Let me ask you the exact same question that I asked ChatGPT, and let's see, based on its data, because, don't forget, YouTube has all of the data in the world when it comes to YouTube. So they can use all of that data, and they can basically parse YouTube and find as much information as possible. So let me just go ahead and type this in here. Who are the top AI creators on social? Let's see what it comes back with. I'm actually really interested to see. But with that said, you can also do something really cool, which is to pull a YouTube video. And for this, we'll use one of yours truly YouTube videos just for example's sake. Okay. So we're going to use this. I made a cool video. I think it's cool, about how AI is taking over pop culture. And I'm going to show you something cool here. So what you can do is you can take any video and you can say, hey, can you summarize this for me? I know I didn't spell that right. What are the main points? And let's see what happens. So since they have access to YouTube, they can actually parse the YouTube data, connects to YouTube. Really cool feature. I love this for summarizing YouTube videos and just getting more insights. Now, while it's doing that, let's see. Right off the bat, I don't like the response format compared to OpenAI's. It was just so much easier to read in ChatGPT. This is more paragraph-based, where they just kind of gave me bullet points. So this is an okay answer, but not really that good, in my opinion. So yeah, pretty trash, actually. Let's see what they got here. So yeah, this is cool. So it tells you exactly... it basically breaks down the video. It tells you timestamps. So if you're doing something with YouTube, Gemini is incredible. I highly recommend it. Now, one more thing about Gemini is VO3. Guys, VO3 is freaking insane. I'm not going to go into it in this video because that's really a whole different video discussion. But VO3 is one of the most powerful tools for marketing material, for creative expression that we've ever seen in the history of the world. You can start with the photo and turn it into video. You can do text to video. You're probably seeing a lot of these videos online. They're going viral. They're getting millions of views, and they're literally created by VO3. The cool thing about VO3 that makes it a little different from tools like Kling AI and some other, like Higgsfield, these other video generation tools, is the audio. The audio is absolutely insane. It's exceptional, and it just works really well. So with that said, Gemini is a pretty good tool, especially for specific use cases. Now, another tool that I did want to cover is DeepSeek. Okay, so DeepSeek made a huge splash when it jumped into the market in early 2025. It's still 2025, but it's got a pretty clean UI. The thing about DeepSeek that was so crazy was that it was open source, and when it came out, it was pretty on par with OpenAI and ChatGPT. Now, it's since been left in the dust, and that tells you the amount of innovation that's happened in the AI space. But it has DeepThink R1, which is basically their reasoning model, and it's got search. So DeepSeek's a really good tool, but I can't really think of a reason why anyone would use that over the tools we just mentioned, unless you're just a big fan of the Communist Party of China. Yeah, I don't really know why you would want to use it. I mean, it is open source. That's cool. Maybe if you want to run it locally on your computer, that makes sense because you can have a locally open source model. DeepSeek's going to continue to innovate. It's the best tool out of China right now. But guys, in my opinion, all you need is really ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, and Grok. Okay, that's a lot. So I shouldn't say that's all you need, but ChatGPT is going to do almost everything for you. Grok's the best search tool. Claude's the best writer. Gemini is the best for third-party stuff like YouTube. And I hope this video was helpful. I'm making these YouTube videos to try to make AI accessible for people that maybe are not engineers or have a super technical background. So please like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. I'm not getting any comments. I'm trying to respond to some comments. So leave me a comment. Tell me what you ate for lunch. Ask me a question. I'm happy to help. I hope this video was helpful. Let me know what your favorite tool is.